10 million years ago, Earth was a very different place. There were no humans, no spoken languages, no civilizations, only vast wilderness and the slow churn of time. In what is now Central and East Africa, dense tropical forests blanketed the land. These forests were alive with strange creatures, giant prehistoric elephants, saber-toothed predators, massive flightless birds, and tree-dwelling apes. But among the countless life forms in these ancient jungles, a silent evolutionary shift was underway. It wouldn't be visible in a day, or even in 1,000 years, but it was real. Something was changing, and it would eventually lead to you. At this point in time, our common ancestors were still fully arboreal, tree dwellers. They resembled chimpanzees but were not the same. They were part of a group known as the Miocene apes, a diverse family that had exploded in population and variety across Africa, Europe, and Asia. But the world around them was shifting. Slowly, global temperatures began to drop. The thick forests began to break apart. What was once endless canopy was giving way to open woodlands and grassy savannas. And for creatures that lived entirely in the trees, this change was catastrophic. Many species of Miocene apes went extinct. Others vanished into evolutionary dead ends. But a few, just a few, began adapting. Some of them started spending more time on the ground. They were awkward, vulnerable, and slow. On the forest floor, they were exposed to predators they had never faced before. But they also had new opportunities. The ground offered access to different food sources, roots, seeds, carcasses, and insects. It also offered freedom, the chance to move longer distances, to explore, to survive beyond the vanishing trees. And here, in this critical window, between life in the trees and life on two legs, everything began to change. One lineage of apes started experimenting with a strange new way of moving, walking upright. It wasn't perfect, and it wasn't fast, but it offered a crucial advantage. Standing on two legs freed their hands. Suddenly, these primates could carry things: food, sticks, stones, even their young. Over time, this simple change unlocked an entire future of possibilities. This shift to bipedalism didn't happen overnight. It likely began as an adaptation to moving through both trees and ground, a hybrid of climbing and walking. But natural selection favored those who could walk better, faster, and longer. As the climate continued to dry, forests retreated further, and survival increasingly depended on the ability to travel. Walking upright, once an oddity, became the norm for this lineage. That small evolutionary step became the root of everything that would follow. These creatures didn't know what they were becoming. They didn't build tools yet. They didn't speak. They had no idea they were on the edge of history. But this moment, 10 million years ago, set the stage for the rise of the hominins, the evolutionary branch that would eventually give birth to Australopithecus, Homo habilis, Homo erectus, and finally, Homo sapiens. Looking back, it's hard to pinpoint the exact day when everything changed. But somewhere in that forgotten world, as a juvenile ape stepped cautiously onto the open grass, upright and alert, the spark was lit. The slow march of evolution had found a new path, and it was leading toward intelligence, language, fire, culture, and eventually spaceflight and smartphones. 10 million years ago, it was just another day in the forest. But now we know it was the beginning of us.